but because she has so many conditions, she does have a painkiller, and I don't give it to her regularly. You know, the sad thing about dogs is they don't talk, so you have to watch them to know when they're in pain. And sometimes, you know, with chronic pain with dogs, just like humans, they'll adjust to it, but it's still tough. So I'll just watch her closely. Hey, it's Karyn, Max's mom. Welcome to the channel. I haven't been here in a minute, so excuse the background. I am not properly set up to film anything, but it's been on my mind, and what better way to get back into the groove than to just start. I just got off work. I work from home. There's probably stains on my shirt, I don't know. But yes, I'm here to give an update on Roxy's collapsing trachea. I have the first video I did in the in the description box, and also have it here somewhere on the screen, so you can check that out first if you'd like. I received so much engagement from that video, and I want to say thank you for everyone who was encouraging about Roxy's health and who shared your stories about your dog in your journey with assisting them while they're dealing with a collapsed trachea, and just all the good vibes I got there. And I've sent many prayers to many dog parents out there, hoping that there's some ease with what you're going through. But I wanted to give an update on Roxy's situation. Of course, she still has a collapsed trachea. You don't get rid of it without surgery, but her honking has significantly improved, and not much has changed with what I'm doing for her. Thankfully, it seems to be seasonal for her. So we only see flares when the weather changes. So regardless of what time of year, whenever the weather changes, summer, winter, spring, fall, whenever there's a transition, she starts honking, and it'll last for a few days and then it dies down. But we're transitioning into summer right now, so a few weeks ago she was honking a lot, and that scared me a bit, and that's why I thought to make an update. So I'm going to pull out my notes because I have them on my phone. Like I said, not much has changed, but I just wanted to go over a few things. Really quickly, I'd like to review any medications she's on, as well as holistic approaches we've made. As in the first video, she is on Hydrocodone when necessary and Temaril P. So if she has a flare-up that lasts longer than a week, then we'll start Temaril P, which is a steroid, and she's on that for just a week, and that usually gets rid of all of the honking. It's like a reset. And then the Hydrocodone is just if the honking is too much, we want her to calm down and go to sleep, because the more you cough or the more excited she is, the more active the trachea is, and the more it's moving, which worsens the condition. So we like to keep her as calm as possible. She's a very hyper dog. I do believe in quality of life versus length of life, quality over quantity. So I let my dogs, all three of my dogs, Cece, Max, and Roxy, all have health issues. Their happiness comes before anything else. Of course, I'm not just letting them do whatever they want to do. Like Cece has Cece has pancreatitis. I'm not letting her eat cake, but I don't not let them have their way sometimes with things they want. Like Maxie has heart murmurs. It's best for him not to run, but if he wants to run, he can run. Of course, I don't go for long walks every single day with him anymore, but I don't need them to just be sitting at home sad. So the same with Roxy. Even though she has a collapsing trachea, I still let her do what she wants to do. If she wants to follow me everywhere, she can follow me. But of course, if I see it worsening, I'll carry her more, or I will just sit with her and be more chill while she's dealing with the flare-up. She's also on a painkiller. I can't think of it, but I will list it in the description box. She also has spinal issues and joint pains, so she's on a joint supplement. They all are, because they're all seniors, but she has a painkiller just because she has I forget what the condition is called, but her spine, it's like the discs are melting together, like they're merging, and so she has a hard time bending her back. She's stiff a lot, and so she also has a hard time relieving herself. So I'll find turds like all throughout her. I have to clean her bed every morning because overnight she'll poop, and they'll be, it's not messy, it's just a few poops. But because she has so many conditions, she does have a painkiller, and I don't give it to her regularly. You know, the sad thing about dogs is they don't talk, so you have to watch them to know when they're in pain. And sometimes, you know, with chronic pain with dogs, just like humans, they'll adjust to it, but it's still tough. So I'll just watch her closely. So if the trachea is bothering her a lot, if her back's bothering her a lot, she'll use that painkiller. I really hope this is not too choppy. My battery's dying. This is my first time filming in half a year. We are all over the place over here, so I'm hoping my message is coming across the way I intend. I mentioned in the last video that concurrent liver disease is common in dogs with a collapsed trachea, and I think that has something to do with getting enough oxygen, and so that's something to monitor when you go for your checkups with your vet. Roxy's functioning properly. She's very healthy. Actually, the vet, we took her a few months ago, and he was like, this is the healthiest 11-year-old Pomeranian he's ever seen. And it's crazy because she has so many problems, but I feel like she's the healthiest dog we have. And it's just funny. It's like she's the instigator. She's always getting into trouble, always eating something she's not supposed to, and has all of these conditions, yet she's very healthy, and that's a blessing, and I'm very thankful for that. Okay, so some of the holistic approaches, the natural approaches we've taken to helping with her trachea, I feel like these have had the biggest impact. Like, of course, medicine is important, but as I say, we do reduce how much she moves when she's having a flare, but also because of her spinal issues, when we go on walks, we make some short walks for her. I just listen to Roxy. She'll tell me if she wants to go back. She will stop and turn around when she's ready to go back, or she'll speed walk, and that'll let me know she doesn't really want to be out here. She feels like she has to be out here. But we also purchased a wagon. So I used to take her in a stroller because Max had heartworms when he was a puppy, and you know, when you have heartworms, if you take the slow approach to curing the heartworms, you have to go about 6 months without walking. So he had a stroller during that time, and then after that, Roxy prefers to be in a stroller. She likes to be rolled. She doesn't really like to walk that often. She likes to play off leash, but she likes to be in the stroller. But the stroller was hurting my back because they don't really make dog strollers for tall people. And so it just wasn't comfortable for me. So I got a wagon for Christmas last year, and they love it. I take Max in the wagon because he has heart murmurs, so we don't take him for super long walks anymore. And like he can totally go on a 30-minute walk, but sometimes we go on like an hour, 2-hour walks, and I don't want him to do that. Yeah, he likes the wagon. He stands up and he's really happy in it, and I do that for Roxy, and she loves it. There's actually like my most popular Instagram reels are with Roxy in them. People like Roxy. So and it's her being pushed in a wagon because that's what she prefers, and it helps with her trachea. I mentioned this before in multiple videos, not just about trachea or tracheal collapse, but making sure your dog is wearing a harness, especially if they have trachea issues, can save their lives. We had a dog die. My partner's parents' dog died from he had a tumor, and they didn't know about the tumor, and he wore a collar, and he was on leash and started chasing a possum, and the tumor had weakened his trachea, and his trachea collapsed, and he died that way. So just knowing what type of harness for the type of dog you have, the type of neck they have, and their behavior, harness or collar could save a life. But if your dog has any type of throat issues, you don't want to have a collar. Of course, with any disease, you want to maintain a healthy weight, so limiting the amounts of treats and food they eat. Roxy is like a goldfish. She will eat until it's gone. So we have to serve her the proper amount of food. And for their treats now, I've tricked them a bit because I have a multivitamin in their joint supplement, and they get excited for those as if they are treats. So she can have multiple treats a day because she has her vitamin in the morning and then her joint supplement in the afternoon, and then at night they'll get an actual treat. And the last two things that I've done that have helped Roxy tremendously are having air purifiers. I mentioned in the previous video that my neighbor, I used to have a neighbor who smoked a lot. Like he wasn't, I think he was military, so he was only home like once a month, if that. But when he was home, it smelled like marijuana, and it was strong, and that's not great when you have any type of breathing issues. And so we bought an air humidifier, an air purifier, because we couldn't we didn't want to just pick up and move just yet, but if we had to, if it was going to come to that, then it was going to come to that. But that helped a lot, and we just keep them on year round now, especially because we live in a very pollinated place. Like where we live is not great if you have any type of sinus issues. And I noticed that with all the dogs, like whenever spring rolls around, everybody's eyes start watering, Roxy starts coughing more, Max starts scratching more, and the air purifier has helped everybody, including me and my partner, because he has asthma. And I keep saying humidifier because I recently bought a cool humidifier, and that, oh my gosh, like during her last flare up, or maybe it was a little before, I thought to buy it, and it's wonderful. Like I even enjoy it. It just feels different in the room. Like especially if you live in a hot climate, you want a cool humidifier because it doesn't make the space warmer and it keeps it cool during the hotter months. But you do need to watch out with cool humidifiers because bacteria builds up more in those, so you'll have to wash it more frequently. But it helps her so much. Like one day she started coughing, I turned on the humidifier, and within like a minute or so she had totally calmed down. She was just like looking at me and it was just amazing. And I know everybody's case is different. Some cases are worse, some cases are better. I'm so thankful for how Roxy's doing. I pray that it stays this way or gets better. But that is what we are doing. I 100% recommend getting an air purifier and humidifier if you do absolutely nothing else. And of course, maintaining a healthy weight can help, and steroids assist. You don't want to be on steroids too long, of course, but you know, there's a lot of options. I definitely always recommend consulting a vet if you can. And there's a lot of awesome vets on YouTube if you can't afford to go to the vet. But yes, best wishes to anyone dealing with this, because it's really tough seeing our babes suffering for sure. And you know, I'm here. You know, if you need to send a comment or a DM on Instagram, seriously, like, because I know how hard it is, you know, as we see our babies age and how tough it can be. It's very, I feel like a lot of people do not get it. People who don't have animals don't get it. Like people with human babies say that, but like the love for an animal is just as strong for the love for a human child, like truly. And you know, I get what you're going through. You're not alone. There's a lot of us out there. Just look at the comments on the previous video. So yes, I hope this update gives you hope. And the few new changes I've added, I hope you can try those as well and they work. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. I do all things dog mom and lifestyle here. It's really a channel about things I like in my life with my dogs. So yes, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.